Alright, so today we're going to be going through my 10 years of gym training, and I'll be showing you the whole process from where I was starting at and kind of the build up to where I am now, where I've just competed in my first bodybuilding show, which to go back and tell my 12-year-old self that I was ever going to do that is insane. Now, I started off like anyone else. I was just doing sit-ups and push-ups in my bedroom. It wasn't really like anything massive to start with. It was just kind of the initial goal of, okay, I just want some abs, I want to look ripped. And it kind of all just grew from there. So once I hit 12, I was able to get a gym membership at the local leisure centre, shout out Dunstan Leisure Centre. And that was the first gym I ever actually trained in. I think I first started training like three times a week. I would go in, I would do like random stuff on the treadmill, the rowing machine. And the main thing I just started doing was just abs and cardio. And eventually I kind of started to see some abs poking through, but this was before I was doing anything crazy with a diet and stuff like that. It was really just the foundations of the start of everything. I remember when I first joined the gym, it was like I was the only person in my like group of friends and like my whole year really that was like going to the gym. So it was like a bit of a weird thing, especially like 10 years ago. Everyone was like, why are you going to the gym? You're so skinny. And it's like, fucking yeah, I know. That's why I'm going to the gym. But after a few months of going there, I eventually managed to convince like friends and stuff to start joining, and then it became like a bit of a thing. Like every Thursday we'd go gym, and then we'd go swimming after, because there was a swimming pool in the leisure centre. And yeah, from there that was like, all right, we've got the fucking boys coming here now, so we've got to lock in. And then after the first few months of training where I was just doing cardio and stuff, I eventually went over to the dumbbells. And I remember the first time I ever did a set of bicep curls, it was literally with like the 6 kilo dumbbells. And then, and yeah, when I was like 12, I was fucking terrified of going over the dumbbells. Like, that was like, oh, that's where the big boys go, you know? But I remember doing my first set of dumbbells, and then I started doing some research, watching videos, how to do bench press, how to do pull downs, how to do deadlifts, how to do barbell bench and all that stuff. And yeah, after a couple of months of training, I was starting to look a bit like this. I was still pretty skinny. I was still really lean. Obviously, my diet wasn't locked in properly then. I was only a kid. And I'd barely even finished hitting puberty yet, so yeah, the muscle growth wasn't going to be fucking insane at this age, but it was like the first bit of progress I started seeing. I was like, holy shit, I'm kind of ripped now, like this is pretty cool. And then when I hit about 14, 15, after I'd been training that leisure centre for a little bit, I decided to join a new gym, where I was like, this is where I wanted to actually start making some serious progress at this point. I'd been through a few cycles of kind of being like relatively skinny-ish and then having a bit more abs, not having so much abs, and I was like, right, I just want to get big now. Like, I'm getting older, everyone else is starting to grow and get bigger, and I was like, I need to get fucking big, because I'm always already quite skinny. So that's when I joined this really hardcore old school gym that was nearby me. And I can't lie, it was pretty daunting when I first went. I was literally the youngest person there. There's all these fucking enormous meatheads, like some of the biggest blokes I've ever seen in my life. We're all in this like crazy hardcore gym, but I kind of gelled with it quite well, and I enjoyed now training just on my own. I learned a lot more and progressed a hell of a lot more in the next year to come. Not just because I was learning more and I was just getting better, but also my testosterone levels were increasing because I was becoming a man, you know. So you can see here I was starting to put a bit more size on. Definitely wasn't as lean, but I was just looking like bigger, you know. I was starting to come into my own, starting to grow into my body a bit more. And it was at this stage I started getting into more of the weightlifting side of things and getting into my squat, my deadlift, my bench press, and just trying to get like as strong as possible. Like it kind of became like more of an obsession now at this point. It was like, I fucking love the gym. I want to get stronger. I want to get bigger. I want to see the weights go up. And it was just like this crazy grind for the next couple of years. So after a few years training here, obviously we had COVID. So then it was like all the gyms are shut. The fucking world's ending. And yeah, it was like, okay, what do I do now? So luckily I'd managed to get some like old weights and stuff. And I just started setting up like this home gym in the garden. I'd built my own bench press and squat rack and stuff. And this is where my strength really started to like increase quite a lot, because I was like, there's literally nothing else to do during lockdown other than eat, sleep, train and play like Fortnite. So if anything, this is probably the best environment to build a muscle. Like, this is how prisoners and stuff get so big, because all they do is eat, sleep and then train for like an hour, 2 hours a day. So they're just getting the most optimal recovery time possible to get fucking enormous. And that was the same kind of scenario for me, I would say. And I remember at this time there was a lot of other people that I knew and who I was mates with who were also starting to get massively into the gym, and I started to see videos of them all getting stronger and lifting weights, and I was like, fuck, I need to fucking blow these lot out the park. Like, it kind of became this weird mental obsession in my head to just be the fucking strongest, the most ripped, the biggest out of fucking everyone that I knew. Which sounds a bit autistic, but that was just my thinking when I was like 15, 16 years old. And it was at this age as well I started to really lock in on my food. My training was hard, my food meals and portions were fucking enormous. I was just eating loads of ground beef, loads of pasta, loads of rice. That was when I started doing all the protein shakes and stuff and like getting some serious calories in. And yeah, I actually gained a lot of weight in that year. Like, it was pretty mad, the strength gains that I made, and then also like people were starting to notice like, oh shit, he's fucking looking pretty big now. The lockdown grind was pretty fun, and if I could go back to it, I definitely would. It was a lot of fun. Like, I actually forgot how easy life was. We just finished school, and all I had to do was play on my fucking Xbox and go train in the garden. It was actually really fun. I also started training. There was an abandoned like train yard, I don't know what you'd call it, near my house where I was living at the time. So I would go there and train, and there was like these old like train wheels and stuff I would use for powerlifting, and yeah, I used to do some weird workouts there, but that's some like Rocky Balboa type shit. But it was fun, and yeah, like as I say, I started to really gain a lot of size at this age. So moving on, after kind of the whole lockdown thing, the gyms reopened, reality came back. I was around 17, 18 at this time now. And yeah, like, I'd put some size on. I think I was weighing around 90 kilos, and I'd done a bulk and got up to like 95 kilos at my heaviest. This is me here. As you can see, I'm looking like decent in these ones, but as the bulk goes on, I'm starting to look like pretty fat. Pretty fat. It was during this time that like my life was kind of going a bit crazy. I'd got a new job that I didn't like, and then I decided I was going to go and live in Australia. And then I quit my job, started working in a bar, and like there's just a million different things happened in like this 7-month period, I would say. But that didn't stop the training. If anything, it like progressed the training even more. And it was because I was like, okay, now I've bulked up 95 kilos. Let's do my first proper cut and just get as shredded as possible. And yeah, this is what I was looking like at 18 years old. I was absolutely mind blown by how I was looking. Like, it was crazy to kind of go from where I started from, like nothing on me, to now looking like someone who you'd be like, oh shit, that's like a fitness influencer or someone like that. Do you know what I mean? It was the first time I was like, oh shit, like this is more than what I thought it was ever going to be. And yeah, so I was looking pretty ripped for this age. So yeah, once I hit like 19, that was when I moved away to Australia, lived there for a little bit. I was still training hard. I was actually really lean because of all I was doing like loads of manual labor and stuff. I had like loads of crazy jobs, and I was just running around all over the place. So like, and because the food in Australia is really healthy, so I just got even more ripped. You see, I'm looking like more what I look like now, I would say. And yeah, then after my months away traveling around the world, I came back home, still kept training hard, still eating pretty well. And this is what I was looking like here. And then when I got to around 20, I was like, right, I want to do a serious bulk now. I've kind of been cutting well, not cutting, I've just been like lean and the same size for the past year. I want to actually put some more muscle on. And that was when I started like a year-long bulk to just get as massive as possible. Like, I wasn't wasting any more time like I was with the last one. I was like, we're fucking in this for the long run. And we bulked up to 107 kilos. This is what I was looking like here. Along with this, I was really getting back into all my weightlifting side of things. So my squat, my deadlift, my bench. And like, this was the strongest I've ever been in my whole life. Like, I was benching 170 kilos. I could rep 140 for like 8 reps. It was like, the strength was insane. And same with my deadlifts. I was pulling like 200 kilos for like reps of 12, and just like ridiculous horse cock strength. Like, it was insane. But unfortunately, I was also a fat fucker, so that was the only downside. But everything else, I was like, I feel fucking like big. Like, this is kind of where I wanted to be. And yeah, that then takes us now to 2025, where at the start of this year, I decided I was going to do a cut. and just get as shredded as possible again. I was kind of done with the bulking, eating crazy amounts of food. The training was starting to slack off just because I was just becoming overweight and lethargic, and with the amount of calories I was consuming, I was just tired all the time. My body was just starting to kind of like slow, and I was like, we need to sort this out. This isn't gonna help me long term in anything. I'm just getting fatter and I'm just getting lazier, and I was having to have naps during the day like I was a fucking baby because I was so just exhausted all the time. And yeah, that pretty much brings us up to midway through this year when I decided I was going to do a bodybuilding show. So I'd already got really lean, and doing bodybuilding was kind of something I'd always had in my mind. I think when I was about 16, it was like, this is something I could probably do, but I just never felt like I was ready for it. And I was looking in the mirror and I was like, you know what, like if we do this seriously and really cut down, we could actually do this. Like I've put on a shit ton of muscle and we're looking pretty good. And I just went for it. And then if you've seen the previous video, I explained kind of the whole process of me cutting down for the bodybuilding show. And yeah, we just went insane. Dropped the calories, the lowest I've ever been. I was doing the most amount of cardio I've ever done. I was training harder than ever. And then I reached that goal. I went on stage, I came second place, and it was a mental experience. And looking back, obviously, from day one when I was just doing press-ups in my bedroom to going on stage and being now a bodybuilder, like it's insane. And then along with that, now fitness being my actual job, like I'm a personal trainer now. That was again something I never thought I would be doing, but it's the best decision I've ever made. Like being fully self-employed, having my clients and stuff, it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy it. And compared to what I was doing when I was just sat in a factory making drills, yeah, it's insane. And it just shows how my passion and my energy towards fitness and my own like fitness as well is just grown into this massive thing. So to conclude, if you're just starting out now with your training, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You don't need to have 10 years experience to get to like crazy levels and stuff. Like the important part is just starting and just really focusing in on your goals. Because if you have a goal in mind, that goal might change over time, but if you really work towards it, you will get it. And that's just the case with everything. If you've got a goal and you actually care enough about it and you put all your energy into it, you will achieve it. There's just no doubt about it. And if you'd like to hear more about my previous training, my current training, or what I plan on doing next, or if there's anything you want me to help you with personally, get in touch, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll help you out however the best I can. And yeah, thanks very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.